Oh, you the feds, bro. You the feds.
You heard that in the white AI lady voice too. All right, so welcome. This is Music with Friends. I'm joined by my homie Ramon. We're
So,
gonna be talking a little bit about blog era mixtape rap. You know, kind of how that delves into other things, what we're listening to now, or maybe some of the same stuff, and kind of just talk a little bit about parenthood. And how that
sure.
relates to music. So, I could let you take it away, man. Let the people know a little bit about you and what you're about.
Yeah,
Um,
man. My name's Ramon. Let's see if we're talking about music with friends. So first of all, I've known Miles for since he was just a baby, it seems like, honestly.
a little pup.
Um, Real talk though, we probably started like in the hip hop, I guess the blog era, like at the same time.
Hmm.
My fondest memory of you, first of all, dude, is like me waiting at like Little Caesars when you were working there, and me just kind of sitting there waiting, chilling for don't really matter why, but I was chilling there, and we would just chop it up about music. Like, man, what you listening to now? What you want? Did you hear that? Did you hear that new KRIT tape? You hear the new Wale tape? Like, just chopping it up like all the time. I think the coolest thing is like being in high school at that time was like '09, '08, '09 to like 2011 for me, 2012 for you.
Hmm.
Was like that's when all the music that probably still listen to now was coming out. Like, I think we're at the age where our like that's what we were able to gravitate to and kind of hold on to, right? So,
Hmm.
um, I mean, yeah, no, like and it's still a big instrumental part of like who I am, what I listen to, right? So I think this is a be a good conversation just to talk about that. But nothing much more to me, man. I work hard, I got a family. Love my music, which I'm glad that I saw you doing this project and I was like, man, it's cool and I'm glad you reached out because you're probably one of the very few people I talk to about hip hop still, if anybody. I would probably wouldn't appreciate anybody else's opinion. So
Yeah, that's real, man. Appreciate that.
yeah,
But yeah, man. So I think to that point, man, I think we were really fortunate just to be in high school around this time. So I don't know. Maybe people don't know. For those who don't know, it could either be blog rap, mixtape rap, but there was a period around like 2007, 2008, going up to 2014, 15, where a lot of artists, even the more popular artists, before they dropped the album, they would drop a mixtape. And a lot of up and coming artists, to get their name out there, they would drop mixtapes. So these are free projects. A lot of times, they got a lot of sampling that wouldn't get cleared on an album. That you could
right,
do a little bit more freedom with stuff, and so it
right,
allowed you to see, their true artistic abilities. And there was a lot of mixtapes, records that resonated with me still to this day. And I kind of
right.
wanted to talk about that as I get older. The music that I listen to, it's still rooted in the stuff that I grew up on and the stuff that I kind of gravitated towards when I was in high school. So
Right.
yeah, man, it's a perfect conversation to have you on, man. And you kind of alluded to it, but kind of my first question is just music in general. Um, how would it influence you in your daily life, and then just in any artistic endeavors that you have? Like, how does that motivate you or fuel you through music?
Yeah, I mean, for stuff on the jump, I think like I could break it down in like work wise. I could break it down personal development wise and then creatively, I think. So like for me, creatively when I was younger, I used to do like a lot of skits and like writing myself and comedy, but like a lot of my comedy that I would do was kind of influenced by a lot of like, I guess like the Wayans brothers, Mad TV,
Hmm.
SNL, like sketches like, like that I like watching in Living Color and stuff. And then Living Color was very hip hop influenced too. So I always like gravitated towards like rappers who were like also kind of funny. Like they did skits or like during that time there's a lot of YouTube like vlogs going on too, right? Where they were on tour or they were just trying to come up and they were in the studio and you got to see their personalities. So I
Hmm.
love that. So like for me, I think it always influenced me. Like I love the funny rappers like the Freddie Gibbs of the world would like kind of influence me like till now. Like I can see him being funny. I'm like, that's why I like him because he's funny still. Working out and stuff, like just being in the gym or like having I'm a big Laker fan, big Kobe Bryant fan. So like I like his mindset. Like rap that can kind of like also align with that has always been good to me too. So that's why I like the Kendricks. I do like Drake when it comes to certain records, right? But from verse like songs like that would like motivate me. Rick Ross, like there's a lot of I can go into anybody, right? But like there's that part of it. And then just like that drive, like just driving the car, like, and I just vibe to it, man. Like,
Yeah.
um, it, the influence is just like it's if it motivates me, if I can relate to it, and I'm just like feeling good. I think the older I got, the more it's gotten into just like that feel like, does it make me feel good? Even if I don't relate to, even if I don't have, 30 women with me or whatever, like, all that stuff, like just the sounds, you know what I mean? Like the Dom Kennedys, like stuff like that. Like that's,
Yeah.
I think Nipsey's an artist in that time too, like that really like probably one of the biggest ones I still listen to today, just because of how does it make my mind like focus on whether it be work or working out or being a better man
Hmm.
or investing, whatever it is, right? Like in development. I think anything that can relate to my personal development,
Hmm.
that's what it does for me.
Hell yeah.
What
And
about
I
you?
definitely, oh man, music is such a big part of my life. It's funny because even as I got older, like in college, I started to branch out to different genres, and kind of research different things. Like all the music that I get into now is, I feel like it's worlds different from kind of the topic that we're talking about, but I just
Right,
feel such an appreciation of basically that taught me how to search for music. That taught me how learn about music that I like, learn about music that I didn't like, and be able to articulate on that. Like there were
right,
so many around that time for me. I want to say my junior year in high school, I wasn't playing sports any longer. So I'd come home from work right before I started working at Little Caesars. I had about like 3 or 4 months. I would come home, I'm like, I got shit to do. So I would get on the computer, hot new hip hop, Nah Right, Dat Piff, live
yep,
mixtapes. Like
yep,
that was my afternoons for a long time, and it just stuck with me. And it was just fun going on those blog sites. Oh, hey, this is a new song. This is a song by an artist I think is kind of cool or it sounds cool, and just listen to it and then go from there.
yeah,
You
yeah,
develop, yeah, I think you develop an appreciation for stuff because now, I mean, it's cool. You got Spotify, Apple Music. And a lot of people just listen to stuff that's curated for them, and that's cool.
yeah, it's cool,
Um,
yeah. But
but
there was a
same,
time where you had to find it, like where you had to like search it. You didn't, and if you weren't
yeah,
looking for it, like you felt good, like not that you felt cooler than anybody else, but you felt like, man, like y'all don't know about this because like you were on All
yeah.
Right, or I was on Rap Radar and All Right, that Piff.
Hmm.
But I remember like
Two
just like
Live
going
Boys, I think.
yeah, exactly. They just
Yeah,
hop on these blogs like, oh man, this dude dropped a new track, and you just find it, and then you find their tapes, and then next thing you know, you got a new favorite artist. Like
yeah,
I don't know about
yeah.
that, man. Yeah.
Nah, man. Yeah, and that it was just it's awesome to look back on that time because even people before us they were like, oh, we had to go to a record store, we had to sift through
hmm
CDs, we had to spend $10-12. We don't know nothing about this artist, we got to take a risk. So
Yeah, and I say for us, like we grew up in a good time because like we did do the CD thing too. Like I remember going to Sam Goody with my mom and like buying like
hmm
CDs. Like I was buying CDs for the longest, even when during the blog era. If I liked somebody, my last CD I probably bought was probably like Kendrick Lamar's "Damn," just because I wanted the hard copy of the CD. Even though I had it on Apple Music, I got a phone like everybody else, but I wanted the hard
yeah,
copy. You know?
that's so funny because that was probably the last CD that I bought.
Yeah,
uh let me ask you, do you know the because I have to remember for a second, but do you know the first rap CD you bought?
crazy. I'm probably wrong, but it was probably like a DMX album. Like a DMX did his Cradle to the Grave soundtrack when that movie came out.
Oh
Years ago.
yeah.
I don't know. I was probably one before that, but I remember having that CD and listening to that like when I was cutting the grass and like doing stuff like that or playing
Hmm.
basketball. I had the CD player. That I like soundtracks like 8 Mile. I had 8 Mile soundtrack. I had a CD in on the school bus, like all that. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
I had 50s. I had a Get Rich or Die Trying. I couldn't remember the first one, but that's the era though. It was like 2000, early two, like
Yeah,
mid
right around
2000,
that time.
early. Yeah, before the
Yeah,
blog
it's
era
fun.
for sure.
Right before, yeah. It's funny because my parents were a little bit more they were church folk, I guess.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that I was exposed to is kind of had to find it on my own or kind of
Mhm.
not necessarily sneak around, but as I got
Yeah.
older, it's funny because my parents they appreciate some of that music, even though they didn't really agree with it at the time. But
Yeah.
first, my first CD was I bought it at Best Buy, the Carter 3. It was,
Nice. Yeah.
but it was censored, so I
Mm.
brought the Carter 3 and I was just listening to it. I was like, man, this is very, very different. But I
Yeah.
liked it. I grew up, my parents listened to a wide variety of music, but a lot of gospel, a lot of soul, R&B, jazz, all that stuff.
hmm Hmm.
not too really fond of the hippity hop, but they learned very soon that that's something I had an interest to, and they kind of they loosened the reins a little bit.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. My mom was a big hip hop person. People like all the time, like, where do you get this from? And I've had people
Mhm.
call me culture vulture before, bro. I've had people say, oh, you're a culture vulture because I'm not,
Yeah.
black, right? Whatever. But I was like, my mom was a big hip hop head, but she liked like Two Live Crew, like that kind of like, you know what I mean? So that's where it stemmed from, bro. Like she'd pick me up on the weekends and she would just like 98.5 the beat, right? This is what I like listening to. And it'd
Hmm.
be old school jams. It'd be Eminem was hot, Outkast was hot, DMX was at like that time. That's where it started. And then you're talking about going to different genres. Like when I was in fifth and sixth grade, bro, I like punk rock. Like, I like Blink-182, and like you probably wouldn't know that, but if you knew me growing up, like I love punk rock music. I would listen to
Yeah.
Simple Plan, all this like Good Charlotte, all that stuff. I was like locked in on that. And then like when I got to eighth grade or so, hip hop took back over. So
No, that's dope, man. And this,
yeah.
I think, um, the way that I
And
position
R&B, and
to
R&B, R&B too. Like of course, like,
you the R&B cat.
I'm a big R&B dude. Yeah,
Yeah, I think just having that exposure to different genres of music, it allows you to appreciate things in a different light.
for sure.
So you could listen to some hip hop that might be a little bit more obscure, but the fact that you had roots in punk, or you have roots in different genres of music, you could be like, oh, I know where they're going for. Like
Right.
it's not too outrageous for me to enjoy. And then once you sit back and actually listen to it, dissect it, and stuff like that, you'll just
Yeah,
have an appreciation for it.
for sure.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so this is the one we're talking about. We'll talk about the mixtapes. We're gonna talk about our top three, maybe some honorable mentions. We'll just go one and one. So I'll let you go first, and then you may can talk about it a little bit. Which one that resonated with you? You don't have to go in any type of order. I'll do mine, and then we'll kind of go back and forth from there. I feel like we may have some that are the same. So I have about like seven or eight. So if you say one that I already said, I'll acknowledge it, but I'll find one. I'll dig more in my bag and get another list.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because I'm going kind of based off who I still listen to, right? Like to this
Yeah, for
day.
sure.
So for me, and very underrated, people are gonna say his third project is his like the one most people are gonna say this guy's third project was the one that they were like, oh, that's the guy. That's when I started listening to Kendrick. But the Kendrick Lamar EP, I'll never forget when I heard it. I saw it on alright.com and I was
Hmm.
scrolling. I was big into J. Cole, love J. Cole, of course, at the time. And in my head, like J. Cole's gonna be this new guy. This guy is gonna be like he's the next one, like at the
Hmm.
time. Everybody's looking at Jay, at Cole to do that. And then Kendrick drops the EP and I listen to it. And like I'm like, oh, this guy's hard. This dude, all these weird voices, everything he's set out to do in his career he said in that album. Like I'm gonna talk about gangster rap. I'm gonna talk about the hood lifestyle. I'm gonna talk about God. I'm gonna talk about morals. I'm gonna talk about family. All this like he said that in that album that this is what he how can you talk about these kind of things and expect to make it? And like now he's done it. And I think every album since then has been like, damn, very, very religious. Like there's a lot of God in that album, right? A lot of God. Um, what is it called? To Pimp a Butterfly, politics. Like he said he's gonna do that, like the political part of it. Then of course his debut was like the hood, like the come up, like hey, this is what I grew up with, right?
Hmm.
Um, so like to see him like what he's doing now and to say that he's kind of like set that up, I loved it. And I remember getting so much hate for listening to that album because I would put it on like we'd be driving to Austin, me and the homies, put
Yeah.
this song on, and they were like, this guy's trash, bro. He's corny. He's corny. No one liked him. Nobody liked Kendrick, bro. And these same guys will tell you now, like, oh, I love Kendrick, like, bro, you don't know. And I went to
I,
his. That was my first. That's my number one album, just because of like I know like I don't know. He's my favorite rapper as far as the new era, right? I still consider him a new rapper. Like I don't care. Like after 2012, I don't care who's new. Like he's still not. He's still to me. Now he's where he's supposed to be. But like like your moms and dad or whatever, they can be, oh yeah, Jay-Z.
hmm.
Jay-Z's my guy. Like Kendrick's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan, Kobe, like you know what I'm saying? Like that's my Kobe right now. So um
Yeah,
that's my album just because I got to see the beginning of the shit. You know what I mean?
bro, it's so funny that you mentioned that. Because I remember in high school, there was only a handful. So this was like 2010, 2011. Good Kid, Mad City hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Only a handful of people listened to Kendrick, and
Yeah.
you were one of them. And we had conversations about it. And I could tell you the same thing. I would put on Kendrick, and they're like, "This shit sucks." but it was just because it was different, and
It's different.
he was, man, just the way that, to your point, you could see his greatness in a lot of those early records that manifested themselves with Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. There were songs in there that, he's taking ideas, and he's just, over the years they've grown and grown and grown until some of his top songs.
Right.
Um, it's so awesome, getting the being at the foundation, being at the forefront of
Yeah.
something, and knowing, like, you knew, it's probably the same way I knew. Like, it took me a minute when I first started listening to Kendrick. It didn't click automatically for me.
Right.
Um, Going into that next point, though, my first album is going to be OD.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the first that was the first time I really, like, delved into Kendrick. It was Ignorance is Bliss. That was the
Mm.
song where I was just like, okay, I that heavy ass bass, and I was like, okay, you're doing something with your voice. Like, I don't really understand it, but I want to listen to it more. And then the more
Right.
and more I listened to it, the more I started to understand, like, dude, this dude is on a different level when it just comes to the way he creates a song. Um,
Right.
in those times where he's rapping his ass off, but there was a
Yeah.
lot of just the creative aspect of making a song, man. It was just beautiful, and it's like there was a lot of people that, like, they didn't understand it,
I
and
understand it.
at times you're not always gonna like what people are putting out, and you're not
Yeah.
always gonna like a popular artist just because other people say they like them. But man, it really
Right.
is awesome to see, how he's the top guy now, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you could probably attest to that too. Like, back in 2010, back in 2011, I knew he would be the top guy one day. I was just waiting for
Yeah.
other people to catch on. So that's awesome, bro. We got. I figured we would be
Kendrick.
in the
Kendrick.
same. Yeah, I figured we'd be in the same boat on that one, because he was even doing some stuff like, that song where he was talking about, like, breaking up with his girl, and, like, he was kind of like, man, I'm a piece of shit. Like, but it was just
Yeah.
the storytelling in the song.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of rappers doing that. Like you said, like the new era, so like the Drakes, the J. Cole's, the Wale's. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, he was already setting himself apart from those, man. So I'm glad as I said, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have this conversation, because I think you and a couple other people I know, like, had a true
You say that.
appreciation for him. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I'm not obviously I was never like financially fortunate enough like to go to like every show, every concert, but I did get to see him one time in Austin and I waited got there early, we were front row and like the picture I didn't even have an iPhone, bro. I had like a Android, like old Android, like the
Yeah.
camera's super blurry, but we saw the show remember Avery about
Yeah.
Avery about he was there as well. It was about 4 days after he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, bro, and like that's like the moment I was like, this is the last time I'm able to see this guy this close ever. Like it's gonna be because he packed it out,
Hmm.
encore, did cartoons and cereals encore,
Oh,
like
I
literally
remember.
that like could touch his hand, like dog, like this like once I saw that, I'm never gonna see this guy again in concert because I'm not gonna pay that much money for a concert ticket. But yeah, this is it. And you always kind of knew,
You
right? Like
knew.
with him,
Yeah, you
like you
knew.
said, you just knew he was different. He was different, but I think this might go off a little topic, but bro, I had a lot of um what it's called. Like I think Cole had the potential to be the best out of all of them. I really do. Like people are gonna say he is. There are people that would put him above, in the top three or whatever. But I think that debut album messed him up. That the first album was just not good where it was supposed to be. And like I tell people that all the time, like it took him like 3 albums to finally get it, you know?
Hmm.
And
Hmm. Yeah, we've had
Never
conversations about this before.
Kendrick's never dropped a bad album. Personally,
Yeah, yeah, no, I
Morale the
agree.
Big Steppers might be not be before you. I had to go back and listen to it to be like, oh, now I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's heavy, man. Yeah, that,
yeah,
and to your point, yeah, there was a lot of conversations about that, especially as Kendrick was coming up. It was like, okay, it was gonna be J. Cole, Kendrick, or Drake. And
hmm
so it was interesting to have those conversations
yeah,
back in the
those are good
day.
conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because I saw Kendrick twice.
hmm
So I saw him both at, so it was the White Rabbit, in San Antonio. Now it's the Paper Tiger. But I remember the first time it was basically the same situation.
Because
Went with a couple of friends.
he came to San Antonio like 2 days later, a day later. I
Yeah,
remember
so
because Avery went to both shows. Yeah.
he was with us, I think. So the first time I saw him was, I think it was 2011. So this
hmm
was like a little bit before. Dang, I don't know if Section 80 came out yet. Section 80 had to have come out.
Had to have
Maybe
come
it
out.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to have come out because we had got there to your point, we got there like 4 hours early.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very front. He brought out everybody. He brought out Absol, he brought out Schoolboy, he brought out J-Rock. Like it was just the perfect thing that you could think of. Like, we were in the front row, right next to this big ass speaker, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like anything that you could think of. I remember dapping him up like he was coming through on the front, and it was just like
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I'm never gonna forget. And it was pretty
Yeah.
packed that day. And then I went, um, like it was a couple days or a week or so after he dropped Good Kid, Mad City at the same
Mm-hmm.
venue. And I don't know if you've been to the White Rabbit or Paper Tiger, but it's a
Yeah.
it's a yeah, it's a
It's tight.
medium sized venue. I guess yeah, it's
Yeah.
tight. It's
Tight in
musty
there.
in there. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
seen a
it's
few
musty
concerts
in
in
there.
there. Yeah.
So they had these garage doors on the side, that
Mm-hmm.
you could open up to get to the outside. So, the first time I saw him, it was pretty packed up in there, but there was no need to open it.
Mm-hmm.
Second time, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. They had to open all the doors. And then that's when I knew that we were packed in there like sardines. Like the first time I went, I was like, okay, I got a little bit of wiggle room up here in the front. Like it's tight,
Mm-hmm.
but second time, man, I was tight on people. And then
Yeah.
I turned around because I was still same thing. We got there like 3, 4 hours early just
Yeah.
to get up front. And then I looked, I was like, damn, the doors are open. And I saw so many people on the outside, just listening from the outside. And I was just like,
Yeah.
man, to your point, this is the last time I'm ever gonna see this dude. Because tickets what,
Just
20
do it.
bucks? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It was $20, bro. It was nothing. Like now you can't. I looked at the tickets for my girls for the scissor one. I was like, yeah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
not even close. Yeah. All right, man. So what's your number two?
So kind of messed around with this one a little bit. I was thinking something like way more hip hop, man, but honestly, it's gonna be Dom Kennedy's from the West Side Would Love to second one. A lot of albums Dom Kennedy tapes that Dom Kennedy put out. I was gonna say the Yellow Album, I really was, but the fact that I can only listen to it like I can't listen to it on streaming still kind of hurts me because I know it's a very
Hmm.
expensive album with the samples and all that and the features.
Yeah,
But West Side Would Love too, man. Just that was like the one. Every track on there is like relatable, like it's fun, it makes you feel good. You can drive to it. The summertime album, like that's like, hey, you just got a haircut, feel good, like money, got the paycheck, right? Like that's just like that's that album for me. To this day, I could write to that. And honestly, there was way more tapes. I think going back to the OD, I heard Dom Kennedy because of the OD on the
that last
He
song.
Needs Me
Yeah,
Part Two.
with
I was like, damn,
Murs.
this
Yeah,
guy's dope. And then I found him. I found Dom, and then I just started going back, like Westside with Love and 25th Hour. I'm like, okay, this dude's cool, he's dope. And then like I got him at the right time because this when he started really getting action, you know what I'm saying? And then got real popular. And I saw him at the White Rabbit as well. For like that one was one of the ones where like nobody was there. I swear it was like
yeah,
40 people in that bit. Like it was nobody there.
yeah.
But I
Right.
saw I saw him at the Get Home Safely tour.
Heck yeah. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know me or follow me on socials, I got my first social media when I was in the 12th grade. So it was
Okay.
Twitter. I never had MySpace, I never had Facebook. So my first social media was Twitter, and my freaking handle, and it's been my handle on everything for the most part, was Dope as Miles.
Hope it's
Like
mine.
Dom Kennedy, yeah, Dom Kennedy. He's not on this list because I had to have a few ahead of him,
Because you
but
forgot about it. Because you wasn't thinking
no,
about it.
of course I see that man every time I open up my socials. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's where it comes from. But nah, man, he was just, especially to your point, just riding music, man. It was just something, the beat, just the way he sounded, like the way he articulated, it was just like some of the coolest stuff. And it's
Yeah.
still, for the most part, I think it still resonates. I went back and listened to some of his stuff. The original Dom Kennedy from the West Side with Love, the first one
Mhm.
and the second one, like you said, get home safely, man. It's just, yeah, he's definitely the most West Coast that you could
Yeah.
be.
It
Let's
resonates
see.
probably now more because he is older. So like he was putting these
Hmm.
songs out when we're probably the age we are now. Like, you know what I mean? So it makes sense
Hmm.
more now, like to listen to those albums. Like the Yellow Album is special, but like I said, you can't get it nowhere. So
Yeah, no, yeah, it's hard. Because I was, like I said, I was in preparation to this, I was going and kind of listening to the ones that I thought of immediately. Like when I posed the question to you, I was like, okay, what are my three? So I thought of a few immediately, and I went back and listened to them. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this album. I forgot about this mixtape. So I started listening to quite a bit over the last few days. But my
yeah.
second one, staying on the West Coast tip, was this group, Pac Div, and they're
Mm.
so Mania. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mania would be my second pick. So Pac Div was a group of three dudes. there was a producer who also rapped, like Nibs, Be Young, I think.
Hmm.
But they kind of to that point, they were like they were a good blend between the West Coast cool and like the West Coast like we're coming to rap, we're coming to spit on shit.
Right.
And they had this song on Mania called Antifreeze, and I put it on the other day, and it's just like a
Damn.
dumping. Oh my god, I could still listen to that and still ride
So
out. It's just, yeah, it's just that timeless. I wouldn't even call it hype music because it was something that you could tell that they put time and effort into it, and it slapped. But
yeah,
yeah, Packed In Mania would be my second joint. I don't
yeah,
know if you've ever seen the album cover, but the album cover is nice too.
yeah.
It's
It's not bad to
it's
look
kind
at.
of like,
Yeah, it
yeah.
ain't bad to look at. Every time I
Let me
think
see
about
what else.
Pac Dave, I think about Tanya Morgan because they had two. There was two groups coming up. There was Tanya Morgan. I think they were more East Coast though. I think they were
Yeah,
Carolina or something. But like, yeah, they were like
I
there was
think
these rap groups that were good, but like
that used to be a thing.
it
It
was a
used to be a
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
Raptors, man. Because I think a lot of I think I talked with you mentioned Avery. I think we talked about this before. He was like, oh, it's like Pac Div and like the cool kids. Like
yeah.
those are, yeah. So it's just like it's just like that type of vibe, like very good beats. And then all three of them had different, rap styles, so it flowed well. And I think they were kind of like some Migos shit. I think they were kind of, I think some of them related, two of them were related, or something like
Avery.
that. But
Yeah,
you could tell they had a chemistry to them. Um,
that-
but
yeah.
yeah, man.
That's a good one. That's a good pool because like yeah, you wouldn't. I wasn't the biggest Pac Div fan. I liked their
No,
music, but I wasn't.
yeah.
Like, I was listening to like the cool projects for sure.
Yeah, that album really resonated with me, and they resonated with me as a group. It's funny, they were probably, I don't know, a lot of that music. They're all those artists were probably in their mid 20s around the time we started listening to them, but it felt
Right.
like they were speaking to people like us.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Oh, for
Dom
sure.
Kennedy,
Yeah.
whether it's Kendrick, whether it's Pac Div, like I felt like a resonance to that more than
Hmm.
I did with a lot of other artists. So it's good to see like I could go back and listen to it and I could still feel, how I felt, I was 15, 16, just messing around doing dumb stuff.
That's three West Coast artists. Like, and it's funny we're doing this because I always get like flack like, why do you listen so much West Coast? My girl's like, are you like were you from
From the
California? Have
West
you
or
ever been to
what?
California? You ever been to California? I'm like, I like the bounce, like the music, like the sounds. You know what I mean? And it is definitely a Dom Kennedy bounce. Kendrick doesn't even sound like he's from the West Coast, so I don't even know why people say that. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, this last project, yes, all over the place, but Kendrick is
Mhm.
another beast.
So
Uh,
I said three. I have two more, but I think you're gonna pick one of them. So
I don't know. I probably
what
won't
is it?
because I'm doing three, but I'll give you like an honorable mention for the
We could
fourth one.
get
And
yeah, we could get our mention.
into this, I'm literally like making a decision right now, like between the last two. But I think Pinata by Freddie Gibbs is probably the best
Ah,
project like ever. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it was between that and Crit Was Here for me because I'm a big
that's where it is. That's what my thought was. Yeah.
but Freddie Gibbs, man, like still listen to him
Hmm.
probably more so than any other of the others, just because different sounds. I like how he locks in with one producer. Like that, that's good. Like that's what really kicked it off for me was I saw Pinata and I was listening to a lot of the stuff he was coming up and I liked Freddie. I always listened to like straight. I think it was like Straight Killing No Chilling. I think there's one.
Hmm.
Um, I listened to the stuff when he was with G's and I liked him. He was like, oh, too gangster for me, too gangster for me. But when Pinata came out, I was like, man, like this is jamming, bro, and the production and he's a storyteller,
Yeah.
man. He's a storyteller. He can rap, even with the coke raps, right? I'm like, even when he's not doing the coke raps, he can rap. I like his when he raps about relationship issues, anything. Like he's cold, man. I think I've never seen him in concert, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Still want to one day. But yeah, he's like one of my most played rappers to this day. And I was actually just watching an
I
interview
dig
before I
it.
talked to you on today this morning. One of his
Uh,
interviews coming up for his new album. But yeah, man. I don't know. Just Pinata, just all the production is dope. The style, the zebra print, like Freddie getting away from Jeezy and kind of having to make his own way finally. And that was
hmm.
supposed to be like his debut on that label, but it didn't work out. So he's like, hey, this would be my debut for myself to go solo, to just go like do my own thing independent. And it was like it worked. Took a risk and it worked. And like that's he'll even tell you. I think he said it on the interview I was watching. He said that it was um it was the most important album of his career because of what it transcended, to be. So
Yeah,
Freddie
man.
Gibbs Pinata is
He
my number
definitely
three.
hell yeah, he definitely found his pocket. It's funny because I didn't start really listening to Freddie Gibbs like seriously until a few years ago. So I had to
Yeah,
go back and listen to all his old stuff and like kind of
yeah,
reminisce because he was really one of the artists that kind of just he was always on my radar, but I could just never quite get into him.
yeah,
But yeah, over these last few years, Freddie is he's still that guy. So yeah,
yeah.
that's a hell of a pick. That's a hell of a
That's
pick.
good.
I was
That's good that you had Pac, Dib, and I had Freddie because it's like we don't even like you. Don't, I don't listen to Pac. You don't listen to. So it's like
yeah.
that's
hmm
cool.
So yeah, I figured you were gonna say Crit. I actually thought, to be honest, I thought you were gonna say because you were talking about Cole. I thought Friday Night Lights would be on there. Like I thought that would be like the first one.
I think it would have been like the warm up or something. It's
Okay.
just like
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like who do I listen to still now a lot, and even Cole like
Gotcha.
doesn't really get that much play. You know what I'm saying for me lately. These years,
Yeah.
like last
hmm
last 5 years, I don't listen to that much Cole.
Yeah. I'm on that same tip as well. But to each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, since you said Crit, for me, that was one of the ones. It was either gonna be Crit Was Here or Return to Forever. It's
Hmm.
funny because the first time I heard Crit was Return to Forever. I was starting my so this would have been my junior year, 11th grade. I was starting my orientation at Little Caesars. So I had to drive to this corporate office and I was putting
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on. I was like, damn, that thing was thumping. So I had to go back and listen to Crit Was Here. He had a lot of songs, just very insightful.
yeah.
I think a lot of people I don't know, the Southern accent or just the stuff that he was rapping about. I think it was just a lot of people weren't really feeling
Too
that type
too
of sound.
country, too country. Yeah,
But I live in Texas. I got family in
yeah,
Louisiana. I got family in Kentucky. So I know that sound. That
yeah.
doesn't bother my ears at all. But yeah,
Right.
he was introspective. He was a great storyteller as well. And he was man when he wanted to rap on a hard ass beat like and bring it. I always remember damn, what's that? I think it's One Train. You remember One Train?
Yeah.
It had
Yeah. He
what
killed it.
ASAP. It had ASAP, Action Bronson, Crit, Kendrick, I think Yellow Wolf. It
Hmm.
just had like it's so funny because
Hmm.
I don't know if you can agree or disagree, but I don't hear songs like that where people just get on like a posse cut these days.
They don't do that.
Everybody's so scared to be one up. They're so
Everybody got
scared to
money.
lose cred.
Everybody got too much money now, and everybody's got some kind of beef going on. Everybody got beef with each other now. It's
But it
weird.
was just he had Danny Brown too was on that joint. But yeah, that
But
was
Chris,
just
but Chris had the
I go
best
back
verse.
and listen to. That's what I would say. Yeah, he had the best. I think he was the last one too, right? He ended it,
Yeah, he ended it. Yeah,
and it was just there's just the way they ended it. It's like okay, yeah. So I go back and listen to that every now and then, and I'm like, oh, I like this one, and really like this one until it gets to Chris verse. I'm like, nah, he took the throne in that one.
yeah. I
So
think
I
it's always
would
supposed to be
say,
Kendrick
go ahead.
Cole. For me, it was always supposed to be like Kendrick Cole and Crit. Those were the three.
Mm,
I never really considered Drake in that top three. Again, this is kind of off topic, but because Drake was like he's already over here. By the time these guys got going, he was already up here, and he was doing his own thing, going pop and all that. So it was
yeah,
always, but it was always Kendrick
yeah.
Cole and Crit for me.
So you said crit. I'm not gonna use crit. I just wanted to segue and talk about crit for a moment. My last one is gonna be my best one. So he was my favorite rapper for a long, long time. And it took me a while to pick the mixtape. I had to go back and listen to it, but Wale, dog.
I knew you were gonna
Wale's
say Wale.
mixtape, yeah,
I
Wale's
already knew it.
mixtape about nothing. That
Hmm.
was the one that came out in 2008. So I had to go back and find that one. So the first time I heard Wale was on the More About Nothing, that blue
The blue
mixtape,
one.
where
Hmm.
and he had a few songs on there that were just like some heaters, and I just had to go back and this was man for me. I have so much to say about Wale. I won't bore you, but it's just like
I love
he
Wale.
was man when it came to his mixtapes. Uh, he had a mixtape that was completely produced by Knife Wonder. I think it was
Back to the
Back to
Future.
the Feature.
When you
Back to
asked
the
me, when you
Feature.
asked me to do this originally, like, and that's the first thing that came to my head was that particular album. But go ahead.
Freddie Gibbs
It's
was on
been,
one of those songs, right?
was that?
Freddie Gibbs was on one of those tracks, right?
I think Freddie was on there. He had a lot of
Yeah,
people on it. Currency was
he
on there.
had
There's a
a
lot of people.
bunch of people. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, the mixtape about nothing. I went back and listened to it from start to finish yesterday. And man, some of the stuff that he was talking about, just his wordplay, just I think Wale gets a bad rap
Yeah.
because his albums didn't really and I this kind of blended into my whole the point of like kind of what I wanted to talk about, like just the appreciation for mixtapes. Because once you get
Yeah.
an album, you got your A&Rs, you got the executives, got their hands and stuff, and it may
Mm-hmm.
not come out the way that you want it to. But with a
Right.
mixtape, man, a lot of times, a lot of those mixtapes, some people were just rapping over older beats. They were rapping over
Mm-hmm.
beats that were popular, and they were killing it. And then they've added
Mm-hmm.
a skit here or two.
Mm-hmm.
But with Wale, he had a whole theme. Seinfeld, I never really watched Seinfeld like that. Uh, I could
Not even
understand its
now.
importance.
Mm.
Nah, nah, I like Curb Your Enthusiasm though a lot.
Yeah.
And
I
then
do like
to
Seinfeld.
me,
Yeah.
I've gone back and tried it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like Friends or anything like that. Like that's some shit I can't ever get into.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
can do that.
it doesn't I don't feel it. So
Right.
when it's come for the comedy, I just like this shit ain't funny. But yeah, with Seinfeld, like him just taking themes from the show and turning it into songs.
Right.
He literally did a song called The Kramer. And
Mm-hmm.
when Michael Richards was falling out,
Well, on stage. Yep.
that was the whole skit. You probably seen it. This is another sidebar. Did you see the clip that Dave Chappelle did when he was talking about it?
Yes, I did. And where did I see that at though? What was he
He
talking
was
about that on? Was he doing on stand up?
it was just yeah, it was at the that famous comedy club in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
that has the always has the background and stuff. So I think he was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doing a 5 minute set. The funniest thing I ever heard, he started talking about Michael Richards. This was had to have been like a couple weeks after it. And he was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, I thought about it in two ways, as a black person and as a comedian. He's like, as a black person, yeah, I was offended, I was appalled. He's like, as a comedian, he's like, damn,
I
this
get
nigga's
it.
having a bad set. He's having a bad set.
That's it. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I've seen
yeah,
that.
so,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dude, it's just the way that he intertwined a lot of those themes. He had a lot of stuff that he was talking about that was just very introspective. His wordplay to me
Yeah,
is always top tier. He always blended sports references. He always blended stuff that just double entendres
yeah,
in ways that were super creative. So I can't really speak to his albums, but a lot of his mixtapes, and he would drop mixtapes before he would drop an album. So he dropped
hmm
right before, and it's like downfall. I think he said the same thing about J. Cole. His first album, Ambition. Man, I had never been more disappointed I promise you, in my life. Like I was so like
But he
this
was in.
20th.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, well, that wasn't his first album, was it? It's called Ambition. No, that was
Oh, no, the one with the shoelaces. That was when he was
the
on
first
Rock
one.
Nation.
That was the first one with MMG. Ambition was the first one
The
with MMG.
first one with MMG, yeah. So he dropped a mixtape called 11-111 Theory, and he had
Mm-hmm.
man some straight heaters on there. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, he's setting it up for his debut album. These are just some throwaway tracks. He's like, I'm just messing with y'all. Like this is gonna be my real stuff. But he took a completely different turn than what I
Attention
thought. It was just
deficit.
attention deficit. Yeah, he just he was trying to be. It sounded very corporate to me, like something you
Yeah.
put on in Old Navy. So I was like, "Ugh, I'm not really liking this,
What
but
we doing? Yeah.
I could always appreciate his mixtapes. I could to this day I it sucks that he doesn't get his flowers as one of those top guys, especially in the
So
mixtape era, because he put out some very influential and very important projects during that time. So hey
yeah.
man, but I guess that's music, creative process. Sometimes it doesn't always hit the way it's supposed to.
He definitely did. He definitely had like I think he had probably the best release, like the best body of work mixtape wise be Wale for sure. And then I think
Yeah.
like you said, like there was just to get to their first albums, and at the time they still thought they needed that they needed that record deal to solidify themselves. So everybody took that record deal, right? And then
Hmm.
saw Cole do it, and then the first album was like, damn, underwhelming. You got like a lot of poppy stuff. Trey Songz, what's Trey Songz doing on a J. Cole album? Like, just things like that. Then they said Wale attention deficit. Kendrick did the Good Kid, Mad City, which is like I feel like he watched everybody else, and so I'm gonna do it my way, and it worked out. But yeah, that happens a lot, man, with artists, and it sucks. That's why nowadays everybody's independent. And it seems to work now. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
the Crit,
that was what
back to kind of go ahead.
no, you good. Go.
Crit was here. I took a drive to the south actually. We went to South Carolina like last week when I was supposed to meet up with you, and we
Hmm.
drove through to Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, all that, right, all the way to South Carolina. I never took a road trip like that. Never been to any of these states. Um, man, and I put Crit was here like corny of me. Yeah, I know. As soon
Yeah.
as I got to Mississippi, say, oh, I put that crit on. I ran that crit, bro. It hit different. It hit
Oh
different
man.
being in there. It hit different
Oh
being out
yeah,
there.
that's the element. Yeah. I think about like putting on Glass House. Like that's like
Oh my
man,
God, bro. And I
dude.
know,
Yeah.
and isn't it crazy how your mind can remember every lyric, like as if you were still there? Like, bro, I rapped every lyric
Hmm.
to that whole tape. I went to his
Hmm.
concert too, and it was at a little bar. I don't even, the bar's not even there anymore, San Antonio. And I'm talking about the same thing, like maybe 50 people, dog. He wore a David Robinson Spurs jersey, some camo shorts, jumped in the crowd with us, and just like again, I'll
Yeah,
never see this
that's right.
like this again. You know what I mean? So I saw him in
Yeah.
concert.
It's dope, man. Yeah, like I said, I feel like we were almost at the perfect time when it just comes to music because we got to discover a lot of artists, right? And we knew it. Like I feel like we knew it. A lot of these artists, um, man,
Right.
I got to see them. And at the time, we probably didn't realize it. But as we get older, we knew like, man, yeah, that was the last time we were gonna see them at just one at an affordable price, but just as an enjoyable piece. Because
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you did too. Like especially like Kendrick's live stuff is like very
Oh
performative.
yeah. I would
But
love to go see it,
I
but I
would love
don't
to go see it.
you
I
can
would
see it
love
on
to go see
YouTube.
it too, but yeah, exactly, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, man, the way that the theatrics are, like, I would enjoy it probably just as much on my couch. Like, I remember watching a pop up shop,
Oh
uh,
man.
the concert,
Yeah.
man. It was just like, dude, this shit was magical. Like, just watching it on YouTube.
I
But
watched it
those
on iPad
early,
and I was like, bro, this is crazy.
yeah, but nothing beats like that early, that hungry rapper, the up and coming one who, like you said, jump in the crowd and rap with you,
Yeah.
chop it up with you probably after the set. Those are the
Because
memories that.
they made you feel so much like, like any man, any kid in high school, any dude, like kind of going through these growing pains of growing up and you're getting closer to, you don't know what to do, girl problems, your friends are doing this and that, you're not popular, you are popular, whatever it is, like, at the end of the day, you can go home or like whatever and listen to that music. And like, they don't know like those days are the days that kind of made you, you know what I mean? Like those days made
Mhm,
me for sure. I remember like
for
listening
sure.
to these tapes and like, man, like if you, but they like, whether my friends liked it or not, for me, it was like therapy. It's always been therapy for me. Music's like, that's, you know what I mean? And like, so Kendrick, Cole, all them, like, yeah, no, that's like a big, like, it's a part of my life, and it still is,
Yeah, that's impactful, man. That kind of leads to my next question, and we kind of touched on it already. But what do you think about your music? Not even your taste, but just like what you're listening to. I think you alluded to that you still listen to a lot of these artists.
Yeah,
But
I
for the
mean,
most part, yeah.
yeah, man, I think it's definitely like I had a back then. There's so many, and you wanted to be the first one to get this mixtape, and then you bump this mixtape for weeks, and the next week another one come out, and you had a big catalog when you're younger. It's just like I can say my rotation is probably in no order. Drake's on my rotation still, and maybe one day we can do this and talk about this Drake
Hey,
Kendrick beef.
we don't judge you for it, man. We don't judge you over here.
Drake's still on my rotation still. Kendrick's on my rotation. Freddie Gibbs, those three. Um, Ross, Nipsey, Dom. And it's just different stuff. Of course, anytime they drop anything new, I still go out there and listen to it. I make sure I listen to it and I take it in.
Hmm.
Um, but it all depends. Like I have like a rap playlist for when I'm working out. That's got like 50, some Drake songs, some Kendrick songs, like um, then there's like the let's ride around to it, man. Honestly, I listen to a lot more R&B now than anything, to be real. Like if I'm riding around, it's a lot of R&B. A lot of
Hmm.
West Coast R&B. I listen to like Bino Rideau. I don't even know who Bino Rideau is, but he's like close
Hmm.
with Blast. If you know Blast, the
Okay,
R&B.
yeah, yeah.
Him and Blast have a tape called Six Tape. You should check it out. I think you would like it.
For sure.
Six Tape. They have three of them, one, two, and three. But the sound there's a sound. It's like a West Coast sound, and I'll send you the project. But the West Coast sound like that is really like it's R&B, but it's got this
Hmm.
bounce to it. You know what I'm saying? So I listen to a lot of stuff like that now. Way more than any before. A lot of R&B, a lot of Afro beats too. I've listened to like
Okay.
Odile. I like
Uh-huh.
Tim's. I like Tim's music. Like, yeah,
Oh,
man.
Tim's, yeah.
I'm in a like yeah, I'm in a I'm more R&B than anything. Like Sundays are for R&B for me. Like tomorrow R&B, I'm cleaning the crib, like chilling,
Hmm.
But if I'm thinking about work or working out or like I just gotta get motivated, it's just the same. I got a playlist for that. Just like these guys that have always been there for me in a sense. So
Yeah.
it hasn't changed much, man. I mean, it's just I still go back to Pinata. I still go back to I don't really listen to too much of Kendrick's old stuff. I think anything Kendrick does new has always been better.
Yeah. So I would say to me, my favorite Kendrick project is still Section 80. Um,
Yeah. I never liked that project. Is that crazy? Maybe I'll just do it now. I never liked it.
So, and that it's man, the reason that it's my favorite project because a lot of even like Tammy's song or like some of the ones that are just kind of like really heavy.
Mm,
When you think of like Damn, you think of like Mr. Morale,
mm-hmm.
um, you think of To Pimp a Butterfly. A lot of those ideas kind of started at Section 80, and just the narrative, like even how the album opened and like they were at like this campfire or whatever, and he was just like speaking. You felt like he was speaking to you. But yeah, I mean, I don't Kendrick. Kendrick is my favorite rapper of all time. But there are some, there's some projects that I don't love as much. There's some songs I don't like at all.
Yeah,
But I think that's the beauty of music. You don't
yeah,
have to like everything to be your
right.
favorite artist. I think we
Yeah,
live, especially with the social media climate, we live in a society where if one of your favorite rappers or a rapper that you don't like drops a project, the consensus is either it's the greatest thing in the world or it's the worst thing in the world. Like there's no
yeah,
middle ground. Then so everything is just hot takes. And so
yep,
I'm trying to, I just kind of the reason that I kind of wanted to start all this is just like fostering a community of people that just appreciate music. We don't have
yeah,
to go out of our way, and this is something that I've had to work on personally too. Like I don't have to go out of my way to tell the world that I hate the new Drake project. Like it doesn't matter. The people that like it are gonna like it, and if I don't
yeah.
like it, I can just I can keep my opinions to myself. So
And you know me, man, when I was on Twitter back in the day, I felt like I had to do that all the time. And I don't have a Twitter right now, but I was always like that. And I always, and that's something, it's funny you said that, because that's something that since I moved out here, especially, just was I thirsty for attention? Did I just want to have did I feel like my opinion mattered more than other people's? And
right,
everybody got a damn podcast now, dog. And it's like, like, I don't
exactly.
want, I don't, you're like, I want to tell them, like, bro, your opinion is not good. Like, but then who am I? You know what I'm saying? But then who am I to say that? So
Yeah,
you get lost in it sometimes, but yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. It took me a long time to just like let me just appreciate for what I appreciate for it. I'm not gonna rush into it. You know, I'm actually that's when you said I'm doing I want to do a review on this Pusha. I'm on the Clips album, right?
Clips. Yeah, I was listening to it, cleaning the house earlier. Because
But
I listened to it. Yeah,
I'm gonna do it
we'll leave
later
that
on.
for later.
I'm not gonna do it too like everybody's doing it. You know, first day it comes out. Oh, this is amazing. Like I'm waiting a little bit. I'm letting it sit.
First reaction, you gotta let it marinate, because
Let it
that's the
marinate.
thing. So this is the part about the hot takes thing that frustrated me the most. Album artist will spend 2 years, 3 years working on an album, and some
Yeah,
damn Joe Blow off the street listen to one
yeah,
song. It's trash. It's trash. Like spent
bro.
all this time, all this creative energy working on an album, and you don't even have the courtesy to give it time and let it marinate with you.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of where it stems from. But no, that's good, man. That
True.
that Clips album though, I enjoyed it a lot. I listened to it a couple of times, and it's definitely got some heaters, and it's good to see. Um, Not old heads, because I don't want to say that, but it's good to see that older rappers are still getting their shine. Because I remember, Nas has been dropping projects, Black Thought has been dropping
You didn't
projects.
like him. You don't like the Nas projects. He told me that because I remember that's what I talked to him. That's why I want to talk to you. No, I'm just
It's like
playing.
that song's been so long. So it's not that I guess it's not that I didn't like it.
The hit boy. You like the hit boy and Nas
Yeah, I
collaboration.
wasn't loving the beats, but I appreciate that Nas could still go out there and give your ass some work,
Mm-hmm.
and hop off, because he did what, 3 albums with Hit Boy, maybe
Yeah, three or
more.
four. Yeah, 3 or 4.
But for Black Thought, it was the same thing for me, and maybe that's where a little bit of my haterade came from. Because
Yeah.
I was listening, because Black Thought had dropped, I think since 2018, since he dropped that freestyle. I think
Yeah.
he released like 4 albums, and they're all phenomenal. And I listened
Yeah.
to them, and it's just like nobody really, people are still talking about like Nas, which Nas was a great, but Black Thought, he was in one of the greatest rap groups of all time. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's
He
revered
goes
as one of
as
the top spitters. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and so maybe that's where I was coming from. I felt like I had to pick a side, but I mean
I
I'll
get
have to
that.
give.
I get that. I get that, Mo. I was just talking about Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs. I don't know if you know about that beef a little bit, and it hurts
Yeah,
me
yeah.
because they have an album. They have an album together somewhere like by Hit Boy in the Tuck, and they can't put it out because
And
of the beef.
they have a few songs together too.
They're crazy. And they collab.
Yeah.
They look good. Someone on the
Uh,
YouTube comments was calling them a Ghostface and somebody else. They're saying they're like that's what they remind them of.
yeah. Pinata 2 is coming out in a couple weeks, I think.
Oh no, it's Alfredo too. Yeah, yeah,
Alfredo 2, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Damn, I'm
bro.
tripping. Yeah, because hey, anything with Alchemist, I'm tapped in. So,
Yeah,
but
for
I
sure.
liked Alfredo because that was one of the ones I heard Benny and Freddie on. But hey, man, that's the real, I guess. But
Crazy.
let me this last question. I think we tied into it, like the music that you listen to now. How do you navigate that? Because we both have kids. We've got young kids. Uh,
Mhm.
what's your I guess what's your process for getting slowly exposing them into stuff? Putting stuff in the car, turn around like y'all know nothing about this, and just letting it ride, or like how do you?
And I don't.
Yeah.
I guess like to answer your question, I don't even think that there is one. I think I just do it, man. Like I know that there's curse words in these songs. I know what it is, but I think it's like that's what your dad listens to, and like
Right.
it's never like I never really thought about how's it gonna affect my kids until um Not Like Us came out for Kendrick, okay, and
Hmm.
Aaliyah loves that song. Like Aaliyah loves that song, and then when the project came out, his album came out recently, GNX. Um, she loves it. Like she knows the word for word. She won't say the bad words, but like, she's 6 years old now. And like I was 6 years old when I was getting picked up from my mom's in that car listening to Outkast. So like, oh, like they're gonna remember this, you know what I'm saying? But like
Definitely.
she
Yeah.
loves Kendrick, bro. Like it's her favorite rapper. It's Kendrick's her favorite rapper. I asked, you still like Drake, baby? Yeah, about Kendrick's my favorite. Like
Yeah.
she likes Kendrick, and she like the Super Bowl show. Like that was
Hmm.
it was a big year, right? For us. So like we went to the Eagles, celebrated, watched all that, and then like she saw the concert, right? And she was like dancing. And my grandparents were watching her, and they called me. And they were like, "Yo, like Aaliyah loves this guy on TV. I know this guy's on TV, but she loves this guy
Like,
on
who is
TV."
this dude? Yeah.
So the influence is there for her. I listen to whatever I want still, man. I don't think it really matters. I don't not that it doesn't matter. I think they're gonna hear it. They might as well
Hmm.
hear it from me, right? And I can
Right.
hope they take that. But even then, like Aaliyah has her own taste in music. Like she likes certain songs. She'll be like, "Daddy, I heard this song on an iPad or on some TV show she likes, and I'll run it for her, right?" And then Isaiah is so young that he doesn't really know what he likes, but he's like bobbing his head, like you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he's three, so. But man, I just play it, man, and I mean they like it, and I try to play like old Outcasts and stuff to see if they'll bounce their head to it. Like, can I keep this alive
Hmm.
for them? And I don't think they like it, bro. They ain't feeling that. Like, they don't like Miss
I
Jackson.
said,
Like,
oh no. What about
like
what's the other one? Roses. I feel like they would like roses.
I know,
We
man,
got a
because
little
when I was a
Jaminis.
kid, that was it, man. I remember my dad like listening
Yeah.
to Roses like in the car. Like, I remember all these things. Like, I try to play these songs for my kids, but I live back there. It's like, mm,
He's like, okay. So
they got
yeah,
the
I think the the reason I asked, I think, is more or less to feeling like how my parents were. They, like I said, they listened to more soul, gospel, jazz,
yeah,
R&B, all that stuff, but just the exposure,
right,
and then just seeing, how that music affected them, stuff that they listened to, why they enjoyed it. Like it's a personal effect for me too. Like I could go back and play a song that my parents played growing up, and then I could feel emotional, just thinking about it, like, man, we used to play this in the car. Like
right,
it's just, yeah, I think it's important, and you can speak to this too. Kids are way smarter than we give them credit for. They soak in way more than we think, and so my biggest goal, just even if there's a little bit of curse words, your parents are right here. We could speak to it if you want to have a conversation about it after, but
right.
just exposing them and stuff, seeing what they like, seeing what they don't like, and it's awesome to see. I've seen my daughter, my oldest. I've seen her jam right next to me to plenty of songs. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I would have never thought,
Hmm.
if I was too scared to put it on, or like, oh, she won't like this. Just put it on. She loves it. So
Loves it. Yeah,
yeah.
it's the feeling, man. It's the feeling sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Like I go back to Dom Kennedy a lot because the feeling, and that's
Hmm.
like I know my kids like that feeling of like, oh, I think Peekaboo by Kendrick. My daughter likes that. That whole tape's jamming, but the whole project's damn jamming. But she loves that album, and it's just cool to see them like, damn, like again going back to this is the beginning of our conversation. Like when
Hmm.
we were still kids listening to these rappers when they first started listening, we were kids. We were like didn't know anything. We didn't know 13 years from now we're gonna have a kid that's gonna be jamming with us and like damn, you listening to Kendrick Lamar right now. And I was listening to Kendrick when I
Right.
was 17, 16. Like,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah. It's like I'm putting you on, little man.
Yeah, you
You're
know,
gonna
it's
appreciate this later.
huge appreciation for all of it, man. I think yeah, and I'm glad I could talk to you about this because like you said, a lot of people opinions don't matter, man. A lot of young cats in the game trying to like do these videos and stuff and talk to people on the internet. It's like, man, like you got to go back into your research, man. Like, you know,
Yeah, and it's funny because we got it's easier than ever to get access to great albums, great mixtape. And I know we talked about it, like a lot of those mixtapes, they're kind of hard to find, to
hmm
at least stream.
yeah,
But there's a lot of music out there, and I think a lot of the newer artists, their favorite, their favorite rappers were rappers that we grew up listening to, or we
right.
had an appreciation for. So yeah, to me, we talk about people's the value, people's opinions. I'm trying to be more mindful, but I also got to recognize that, like you said, people got to do their research if they want to speak on some things, and it's good to hear that people still are going back and kind of listening to some things and branching out and moving from there. So
Yeah. And I mean, also just like, you said our favorite rappers had their favorite rappers before, right? And like, I listen to a lot of Jay-Z now, dog. Like, I wasn't a big Jay-Z guy in high school, but like,
mhm.
I'm Hove, bro. Hove's my, I
I
get
feel
it.
like,
I get it.
yeah,
Like,
I feel like he definitely has a lot of I guess relatability to that, especially as you get older.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I get it now. That's it. Like, Reasonable Doubt's my favorite, probably my favorite album of all time.
Dang.
And
Okay,
that's what,
okay.
and I wasn't even alive well, I was alive, but I wasn't listening to
Yeah,
music like
you
that when
wasn't
it came out.
cognizant. Yeah, you wasn't
Yeah,
aware of what's going on.
yeah.
Dang. But yeah, man, I definitely shoot. We could talk about stuff like this all day, but I don't want to hold you.
I got
Um,
nothing to do. Let's do it. I got nothing to do. Let's do all day.
so, no, I want to. So have you listened to the Clips album?
I have.
Like all the way through? Okay, yeah.
You have to clip this
I
part out. You have to clip this part out and put it on a separate thing. But we can do it
Yeah,
too.
no, because you're
Let's
going.
do it. Let's
Well,
do it. Let's do it,
I
man.
don't want to do it. I don't want to do it
No,
track
let's
by
do it.
track.
Let's do it.
Okay, so man, like I said, I was just listening to it earlier.
Uh,
Whew. Yeah.
you know what I
So
like
the
about the
first time,
clips
go
is
ahead.
sorry, but the rollout, bro. The rollout was so like, man, so classic. Like they took me back to like that's what you're supposed to do, bro. Hit these real hip hop bloggers up, hip hop interviewers,
Yep.
journalists. Journalists is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Go to these places, do these things, go to these late night talk shows, like do this, get your music out there, and then like deliver a body of work. Lock in with one producer, with Pharrell,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and bars, man. Let him do the beats, you do the bars, dog. Malice
Dude,
kills Pusha on every song, dog.
it's so funny because I think it was a Breakfast Club interview. I guess it was right after they released it. And he was
Hmm
like, damn, Pusha was like, damn, I'm 0 for 2. I'm
Yeah,
0 for
yeah,
2, dog. Like, he's killed me on it,
yeah.
it's good to hear Malice again, man. He's just got such a distinct voice, and he's not with the nonsense. Like there's no
Nah.
fluff, there's no sugar coating, and it's refreshing to hear.
And his journey through Christ too, like his journey with the Lord. Like
Yeah,
going to church, like you could see it now, and like you respect it a little bit more because like yeah, I'm rapping because this
definitely.
is what I do, but I'm also
Hmm.
doing this through God. Like it's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, when you have those two sides to you, but you understand who you are, and you
hmm
understand that this is your purpose in life.
hmm
It's very beautiful to see. There's a We've been talking about older artists. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about this, man, but that Lil Wayne album.
Mm. Yeah, when I first
Oof.
so every now and again, bro, I get kind of like inspired to do something like kind of like what you're doing right now, just like a review. I've been working with some projects lately on my YouTube stuff.
Hmm.
Kind of working with just on the low, getting an audience back up, and
For
I
sure.
literally have like I said, I got this laptop I'm on right now. I bought this laptop so I can start doing some more stuff. But I literally want to work on this little review, and that was the one of the first albums I listened to. That I was like, I got to talk about this, but not negatively. Like I want to just pick the good songs that I do like at least, which is only like three or four of them. But it was bad, bro. It's a bad album.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too because it. Somebody said it sounded like AI rap. Yeah, I was like, damn, that
Mm.
as an artist, that's probably going to be the most insulting thing
Disrespectful.
somebody could say these days.
Straight
But
up.
man, I just remember we're talking about mixtapes, and Lil Wayne wasn't mentioned in there, but he was the Drought series. Uh,
Yeah, we're gonna get
he did the
if you put this out, which I hope you do, people are gonna be mad. We're gonna
mm,
talk about Lil Wayne.
They'll be okay. He dropped Sorry for the Wait. Like
Yeah.
those resonated with everyone, every person I knew in high school, even myself. Even
No
when I was
Ceilings
trying to
came out my senior
no
year, I think,
ceilings.
or
Yeah,
junior year. Yeah, bro.
no ceilings. And so the reason that I was so disappointed in this album, one, he was making it a part of the Carter series, his most prominent body of work. And it was
Yeah.
just like the lack of care. I think he just thought that he could still do it, like just off the cuff, and that be the thing. And I'm just like, no, you need a little bit more. You need a little bit. This needs to cook more in the oven. It was just a lot of beats that were just
This was
so silly.
Carter 6, right?
Six, yeah.
Five was bad too. And
Five
four wasn't
was
and
four
four wasn't
wasn't
that
great
much
either.
better. Yeah.
So three was the last one for me. And like I said, that was the first CD I ever bought. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to go shaming on Lil Wayne
I hate
because
when they do that.
yeah, but the thing about me is, he was the one. He was the one that labeled himself the greatest rapper alive. He labeled it in a few songs, and so like when you come with that moniker,
Yep.
you got to live up to it, even
Yep.
even in when you're past your prime. So he was still
Mhm.
talking mad shit in this album, talking about like I'm still the greatest rapper alive. I'm like, what planet you living on, dog?
But his
And
features are he does so good on like dog when he features on a track, he's so good. On
that
his
one he did
album,
with Benny like last year, like he
Big
was.
Dog was
Whew.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
then how you feel about since we on the top? How you feel about Jid?
Jid,
Hmm.
I don't listen enough. I don't listen enough to be honest with you. I don't.
I would.
So like I said, like that's another thing about kind of this conversation. I was supposed to say this at the end, but like 2012
Mm,
up to 2012, I feel like that was like these are the guys I'm gonna rock with. Because I'm getting older and like I didn't really look out at like for more people. And Jid came out like 2015, 2016, probably longer
yeah, a little
before
bit
that.
after. Yeah,
But
it's
like,
funny you say that. Yeah, I was the same way. 2012 when I went to college, and this is when I started getting to other genres of music. But I was like, man, I got a good roster of my the rap people that I stick with. I could listen to them, and they were still KRIT, Wale to an
mhm,
extent, but Kendrick for sure. He was still dropping projects. Like so,
still
I could
dropping.
still I could still stay with them. But it wasn't until like 2018 or 2019 that I kind of refound my love for hip hop.
Mm,
Discovering different artists. So even my top five now is almost completely different than it was 5-10 years ago. Um, but Jid
yeah.
was one of the ones that I first heard him because he was with what was J Cole's label?
Oh yeah. Dreamville.
Dreamville. Yeah, he was with them, and he was on a feature on one song, and I was like, who the hell is this? And it was a song with J. Cole. It was J. Cole featured Jid, and I was like, "Ooh, he's absolutely destroying J. Cole."
Yeah.
And so I started listening to more. But I would say his debut album. That's the one I would listen to. I would just put that shit. Just
Okay.
put it on. Let me find the
Okay.
name of it because he has a project coming out in a couple weeks, I believe. So there's a lot of people dropping.
Hey, no, I was thinking about today too. Was it today? Or yesterday? Might have been today. 2025 is gonna be one of those years in hip hop we talk about for sure.
Dude,
I,
there's a
I
lot of
I consider GNX a 2025 album. It came out like in November of last year, I think. But I'm gonna or yeah,
okay. Well,
or
I'm gonna
so,
consider it. Yeah, we're gonna consider it. It's like how they do with the Oscars. Like they
yeah.
do.
Basically, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
This
It's
Clips
called the
album
for.
came out and it was like, phew, I think Ross is dropping an album this year. Got Freddie dropping in a
Mhm.
couple of weeks. Um, yeah. You said Jid coming out. This is gonna be a year, bro, in hip hop. It's
Yeah.
only halfway through, so
The Forever Story. So yeah, this one came out in 2022. But I would check that one out, man. I really
okay,
think
I will.
even from the first song, I really think you'll be like, okay, I see what this dude's doing. Because at
Okay.
first it almost felt like kind of gimmicky because he was rapping real fast, but
Yeah,
he does this thing where he could rap fast and then he slows down his flow and then he picks it back up. Yeah, the way that he flows is almost
it's good.
unmatched.
Okay,
Yeah,
and again, I've listened when he's on a song. I don't skip it. I listen to him, but like
mhm.
I've never really dived into his music like that. I
I
thought it was a
think the
group.
Forever Story. JID.
Yeah, I thought it was a group till right now. So
Yeah, but he was damn Earth Gang. I think I don't know if you heard of them, but
that's what I'm thinking
they're
about.
like
Yeah, okay. He
they
was
they
part.
did stuff with legit. They're called
That's why I get him. That's what I get the confusion from because Earth Gang and Jit. That's what it is. because they were
Yeah,
on
they did like a
whole stuff.
they did like a group project. I think their name was called Spillage Village or something like that. But they were
Yeah,
dope
yeah.
too. Seven or
Okay,
eight artists. But yeah, check out the Forever Story, man. That
okay, I
one is
will.
very good. It felt like when the album came out, it felt like it was right up, our alley, especially coming up, hearing a project for the first time, be like, damn, this shit, like hearing an artist and be like, damn, like this is
Yeah.
next level stuff. So
Yeah. It's hard to
yeah,
find
man.
like because I know there's artists that are out there that would probably give me that same feeling as these other guys that we talked about would give me, but I kind of just
Hmm.
don't want to get into it. You know what I mean? Because I'm
I
just in
feel you.
that. I feel like I'm just at the age. I'm 32 now, so I'm like, this is who I rock with. I mean, I still listen to Ross, Future,
Hmm.
low key. Future's become one of my favorite rappers of all time. And I remember being young, like talking to you and probably telling you like, I don't fuck with Future. I don't fuck with him because I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I was such a I'm a backpack kid, backpack hip hop.
Right,
I didn't
right,
get
right.
it. And then one of my buddies plays overseas basketball. Shout out to my boy Taylor Smith. He loved Future and he'd come see us and he'd take us to Austin like to party. Whenever we come to Austin, he'd get a hotel and come out. And we come out. It was like I was like 21, just turned 21, and he always played Future. And Dirty Sprite 2 was the one. I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna give it a try. And then after that, like, yeah, it took me a long time, but Future had been on for years.
Once it hits you though, and that, like I say, I always say this in just the appreciation for music. A lot of times, shoot, with Kendrick, the first time I heard Kendrick, I wasn't
Mm-mm.
feeling it.
I think he was a
Maybe
Christian
I was
rapper.
too. And then the EP, he's sitting. I think he had a book
He's
open
sitting
or
as a
something.
notepad. I thought it was a
Oh,
Christian
no,
rapper. I was like,
it's like, okay, this on some yeah, I know that one Christian rapper. I forgot his name, but it's on some of that. He's on that time.
yeah, yeah. That's what I thought.
But I think either it's your experience as you get older, or maybe you just weren't feeling something at that time, and then you come
Right.
back and listen to it, and then it hits you completely differently. That's
Yeah.
just the beauty. That's just the beauty of it. There's nothing like, to me. There's nothing more impactful or more powerful than a song hitting you at the right place at the right time, and just, man, yeah,
Yeah. Again, it's all feeling, man. It's all subjective too, right? Like they could be singing about something completely different, or rapping about something different, but it relates to you in a different way. So it's subjective. It's how it makes you feel. And I think that's like you said, it's the beauty in it, bro. And you never know what you're gonna get into, what you're gonna start liking. And like I said, bro, I'm listening to like Afro beats and stuff, and I'm like here like
dude,
I
yeah.
want to go to Jamaica and stuff now. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm
With your
listening to different pocket right now
yeah,
myself.
man, with your shirt off, dog. Let your chest
That's it.
show.
That's it.
Hell yeah,
How do you wait? I gotta ask you though, for real. Like, how do you feel about
for sure.
Drake? How do you
What's
feel
your
about Drake, bro? Come on, man.
so so in high school, um, before I got an iPad, I used to have a PSP.
Mm-hmm.
In the ninth grade, I had a PSP.
Okay.
You
Ahead of
could
its
play music on it.
ahead of its time, by the way. The PSP was
It
ahead of
was
its time.
very, very, very ahead of its time. There's no Switch without the PSP. But anyway,
Right.
I was able to download music, and at the time I was just downloading whatever. This is when I started listening to, like, Tribe Called Quest and stuff like that. I was just picking songs.
Yeah.
I think one day I googled the top 100 hip hop songs of all time, and I just, like, picking and choosing.
Right.
I had a few I had a few Drake tracks on there. Stuff from, like, So Far Gone. He did a
Yeah.
song with Nipsey Hussle.
Killer.
Very, very
Killer.
early.
Yeah.
Killer, yes, yes.
Yep.
So those are that was
That
the
was the
end of it.
extent. The extent of your
So
Drake.
then I started listening to J. Cole. Then I started listening to Wale. Then I started listening to Kendrick. And I was like, I don't. Since then, and that was 11th grade. Since then, it's not for me. And I used to be I used to be a hater, like a straight
Okay.
up hater, like
That's
go
what I
out of my
wanted to
way to
hear.
hate. Yeah, I used to be, but now I don't listen to his music, and the people that like it, even before this Kendrick stuff. Let's talk about before this, because
Yeah.
it's before that, I had come to a realization, like, hey, I appreciate the longevity. Drake has been at the top of the game for what,
Right.
almost 10, 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
Like that is unprecedented. There's not been a single rapper.
Almost 15
15,
here.
15. I would say he's not at the top any longer. I don't know if you would disagree with that, but his place has he's but he was solidified at the top since 2010, 2011. So 13
Yeah.
years. Let's just go 13.
Yeah.
13 years. He was a top rapper.
Yeah.
can't. I could only respect that. You know what I'm saying? I can't. There's a reason that people like it. Just because I don't like it, that doesn't mean, I used to go out of my way. Trust me, I would go out of my way to tell people, y'all shouldn't be listening to this. Put on this. But hey, it's what people like, and I think there's a vibe, there's a certain element to his music that gives people happiness,
Yeah,
and it just doesn't do it for me. But hey, if y'all rock with Drake, um, older stuff, more
yeah.
live, all that, you know, I'm happy for y'all, and
He's
I'm not
the
you won't hear words out of my mouth that are negative any longer.
he's the LeBron of rap. Like people don't.
Oh no, don't say that. Don't
I
say that
don't like
because
what? No, no,
LeBron is the greatest player of all time. So don't
no,
say
because
that.
Because I'm a Kobe guy, so I'm gonna say that. Because to me, Kobe. So to me, it goes Jay is Jordan, Kobe and Kendrick, and Drake and LeBron.
I can
Because
see
because
that. So
because
you
this
think he's
because the social media aspect of it, right? Like we've been the reason why they're both on top for so long and LeBron is where he's at is social media, bro. Like honestly, at the end of the day, like the amount of people that have been able to, come around this guy and we see this guy in the light. We didn't get to see Kobe and Jordan like this, right? We get to see this. Same with Drake. Like Drake came up at the right time. The trajectory was the
it's a
same, right?
yeah.
Um, it was
I
like
see that.
Miami Heat LeBron and you know what I'm saying, and Drake, and it was the trajectory was the same. And that's where we're at with it, to where they were kind of not saying shut down our throats, pause, but they were shut down our throats, right? And it
Yeah,
was they were, and
I
so
see
that
that. I see
and
that.
that's the reason why like Drake has been where he's at. Like you said before the Kendrick thing, I always thought Kendrick was better than him, in regardless, and I always knew that with that beef coming up, like people think, man, I wish I could have. My confidence wasn't there, bro, and I really wasn't in a position to like talk about it. And like you said, I didn't feel like my opinion, but like I'm not gonna talk. Everybody wants his opinion. I didn't need to scream to the mountaintops how I felt about that beef, but I was so invested in that dog because I've been wanting it for so
Yeah,
long. Because I'm a Kendrick
yeah.
fan, and I know Kendrick's whole thing about it was never to because I'm a hater. It was because like yo, like I'm the best rapper. You have ghostwriters, you have this and that, and I'm tired of
Hmm.
people saying you're the best. I know I'm a better rapper than you. Just give me a chance to go. He just wanted a chance to go 1-on-one with him, and to be real, when that beef happened and Drake dropped Family Matters, I was like, oh, like okay, like
Yeah,
we got something. But then
and I
Kendrick
will
was
say,
literally, yeah,
yeah, right there. I will say, that Family Matters was a decent song.
bro.
And then the one, just going back, but the one song that he did, with Pusha T, that this was it Guppy?
He was responding like a
That
rapper.
one was that one was until Pusha dropped his joint, but
Yeah,
Drake will always give you one. I
he'll give you one.
never
He's good
I
for one.
never and even in some verses, like I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool.
Yeah, I do like rapping Drake but not the tough talk stuff. I don't need the tough talk stuff, man. Give me just like
That's what kills me.
yeah,
Yeah,
give me the like you writing in your journal stuff. Give me that. Give me the R&B stuff. I'm cool with that. I don't need the latest song he put out when the video had a bunch of guns in the YouTube. I don't know if you saw that video or not. But
no.
he did that What Did I Miss? Had a bunch of guns. Like,
Oh,
not doing that. But
hey man, when I guess he's in a very, but this is to that point, he's in a very interesting part in his career because one, he's what, I mean, Kendrick is too. They're late 30s, early
I
40s.
think Drake's 40 now. Yep.
Um, and so you're even if you still think you're the top guy, like there's a new crop of people. Just same with
Watch.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Same with
Mm-hmm.
LeBron. Like it this is the first time in his career where he's not the main focus. The first
Mm-hmm.
time in his entire career where he's
Mm-hmm.
not the main focus. And I'm sure he's going to struggle with that because even last
Mm-hmm.
year, he was still the guy. You
Mm-hmm.
had Anthony Davis, but it was everything centered around LeBron. And then when they get
Yeah.
Luca, I, I don't know what your thoughts were being a Lakers fan and where this isn't a sports take,
That was
sports conversation, but even at that moment when the trade happened, I was like, okay, LeBron's going to have like a year or two more. He's still going to be the top guy, and then
mm-hmm.
he's going to pass the reins on to Luca. But immediately, it was like, no, Luca's the guy. LeBron, we appreciate what you've done, but you're second, man. And
It's
so,
time. It's time, man. I think it's past time. I'm not a LeBron hater, bro. I was big on
oh, don't say that. You,
I
you,
am.
you're
I
a
am.
Lakers fan. You're okay. You're a Lakers fan, and then you say I'm not a LeBron hater. That makes that makes it seem like you want to say some
Because
wild stuff about LeBron.
real Lakers fans are we're Kobe guys. Like we saw what Kobe did. It is what it is. So I just always had that battle, man. I'm always gonna be a Kobe or LeBron guy. Always, you can't change my mind, right? But um,
Mhm.
we got one title with the guy, bro, in 8 years, and it's not his fault. It's not like he did great. It's the front office sucks, and they need to do better. Like after 2020, we should have kept the team. You know, they traded for Russ, and I was also about to be frustrated too. Like they really didn't give him the right people around him, and really it's the front office. I think the new guys in charge are just about the team. They're gonna
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
they gotta. If it was me, bro, I would trade LeBron this year if they could. Real talk. Just start, but I know they can't because there's no trade clause. But if they could, I would.
Yeah,
It's time, man.
and it's like LeBron is like this like a star that's just exploded. Like what he don't have no. I don't think he has any value
He doesn't.
in that way. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just he's such a legacy person. He's probably going to ask for the most amount of money, but how
exactly.
much money can you invest into LeBron at 40? Is he 42?
Exactly. Yeah, he's old, man. He needed to sell
Man,
to like someone should get him just to sell tickets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna sell
so
out. No, 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 not like that. But he should like he'll sell tickets. Like if he goes to like the Orlando Magic and then
oh, I
people go
see.
sell out the arenas. You know what I'm saying? Like not
Yeah,
actually sell tickets. He ain't that bad.
this man out here panhandling. He's
He
like,
ain't
he
that
got it
bad.
bad. No, man. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you, my boy, hopping on. I'm glad we're able to chat, kick it. I'm a let me close this out. I think we're good. Shit, I didn't even do a exit, but I'm gonna just